Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडाचार्य विविधि फाउंडाचार्य सेवेद होल व जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रगण की रामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत कदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद के भुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन के हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद के ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 20. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naran chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhirayet nashtaprayesu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavateruttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki mukam karoti vachalam pangolangayatengrim tat-kṛtaṁ bande Shri Gurodina Tarinam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. So is that same text, Prabhuji? 20th. rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ. rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ. vimūḍhaṁ ātmanaḥ. vimūḍhaṁ ātmanaḥ. yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro. yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro. hanti tat-kṛtaṁ malam. rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍhaṁ ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro hanti tat-kṛtaṁ malam rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍhaṁ ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro hanti tat-kṛtaṁ malam ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro tat-kṛtaṁ malam rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro hanti tat-kṛtaṁ malam rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham dhāraṇayā dhīro tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā Anybody? rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro Mothers, rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham ātmanaḥ yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro hanti tat-kṛtaṁ malam rajas-tamobhyām ākṣiptaṁ vimūḍham ātmanaḥ dhāraṇayā Word to one meaning. Rajaḥ, the passionate mode of nature. Tamobhyām, as well as by the ignorant mode of material nature. Ākṣiptaṁ, agitated. Vimūḍham, bewildered. Manaḥ, the mind. Ātmanaḥ, of one's own. Yacchet, get it rectified. Dhāraṇayā, by conception of Viṣṇu. Dhīraḥ, the pacified. Hanti, destroys. Ya, all those. Tat-kṛtaṁ, done by them. Malam, dirty things. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Avai Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. One's mind is always agitated by the passionate mode of material nature and bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. But one can rectify such conceptions by the relation of Viṣṇu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them. Purport. Persons generally conducted by the mode of passion and ignorance cannot be bona fide candidates for being situated in the transcendental stage of God realization. Only persons conducted by the mode of goodness can have the knowledge of the supreme truth. Effects of the modes of passion and ignorance are manifested by too much hankering after wealth and woman. And those who are too much after wealth and woman can rectify their leanings only by constant remembrance of Viṣṇu in his potential impersonal feature. Generally, the impersonalists or monists are influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. Such impersonalists think of themselves as liberated souls, but they have no knowledge of the transcendental personal feature of the absolute truth. Actually, they are impure in heart on account of being devoid of knowledge of the personal feature of the absolute. In the Bhagavad-gītā it is said that after many hundreds of births, the impersonal philosopher surrenders unto the personality of Godhead. To acquire such a qualification of God realization in the personal feature, the neophyte impersonalist is given a chance to realize the relation of the Lord in everything by the philosophy of pantheism. Pantheism, in its higher status, does not permit the student to form an impersonal conception of the absolute truth, but it extends the conception of the absolute truth into the field of the so-called material energy. Everything created by the material energy can be dovetailed with the absolute by an attitude of service, which is the essential part of living energy. The pure devotee of the Lord knows the art of converting everything into its spiritual existence by this service attitude. And only in that devotional way can the theory of pantheism be perfected. Thus ends the translation purport in connection of the first step in God realization from Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 20. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Viṣṇu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here in Sridham Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir in the Kartik month. So far my sitting here, I am not at all eligible to sit and speak something about Srimad Bhagavatam, the Paramahansa Sangita, Amala Puranam, and where I am the personification of Mala and the personification of Param Crow. So I really need the blessings and mercy from all of you so that I could do this service because Senior Vaishnava was told to do this service, as well as for the pleasure of Acharyas and Sri Radha Madhav, Sri Narsingh, De Prahlad Narsingha, Sri Panchtattva, and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So here we are onset of Srimad Bhagavatam. In previous canto, Parikshit Maharaj had asked two questions at the end. The first question was that Srila Sukadeva Goswami, kindly tell the course of action for people in general, what they should do, as well as for me too, because I am just about to die. So course of action for the people, those who are all general and populace, as well as for me, who are actually about to die. And second thing, to whom one should meditate, to whom one should think about, to whom one should glorify, about whom one should hear. Please tell very specifically about them. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami becomes very happy by knowing these very beautiful questions, right? So it depends upon the person who questions and the person who answers. Both are of the same frequency, then things become very much powerful. Both of them encourages each other. So perfect match. Parikshit Maharaj, the perfect hearer, and Srila Sukadeva Goswami, the perfect speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, are there. So Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami becomes very happy, and he celebrates, he glorifies Parikshit Maharaj. Wow, what a wonderful question you had asked. Variyan. Hindi also the Badiya wala. Badiyan te prashna. Your questions are best, Parikshit Maharaj. So these questions are why best? Because the answers of this question is going to give the welfare clue for masses of people. And he also glorifies, then he condemns to those who are not actually giving heed to this type of narrations. He condemns. From sloka number 5th till 11, he condemns that there are many people, those are busy talking and speaking and hearing about so many things other than Krishna Katha. So whole night they simply sleep and do so many sorts of activities, and whole day they are busy working for and getting some money. That's what they do. So he condemns them. Again he takes up glorification of one pointed attention toward devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So do not worry, Parikshit. So ultimately thing is that you should be one pointedly focused toward devotional service, Lord. Don't worry about yourself, because you have enough time. And he also quotes the example of Khatvanga. He has only one muhurta, just 45 minutes. I'm not sure 45 minutes of demigods or 45 minutes of hours. 45 minutes of demigods could be big actually. Yeah. So 45 minutes of here, Bhuloka. Yeah. So 45 minutes of Bhuloka. Yeah, it's like very relevant to us. So 45 minutes hours, perfect. You have 7 days and 7 nights. You can do all the rituals and everything. Because ultimately when we want to achieve something, means we always think that there must be some process to achieve that. There must be many rituals to be performed, so many things, right? So he thought like that. Parikshit Maharaj also think like that. How in just 7 days, how will I perfect my life? So Srila Sukadeva Goswami tells, do not worry, you have enough time. 7 days, 7 nights is there. What's the problem? Then he comes up glorifying Ashtanga Yoga process. So out of the blue, glorifying devotional service. And at the end he glorifies Harinam Sankirtan. He glorifies Harinam Sankirtan. Yoginam nirnirnitam harer namanu kirtanam. So this is decided by yogis. There are many yogis were there in the audience. Here there are only bhakti yogis. But in the audience of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, there are n types of yogis. Some Jnana yogis, some Ashtanga yogis, some maybe bhakti yogis also. There are many bhakti yogis, of course they were there. And like this, crowd mix all. So, and it's not selective audience. And Sukadeva Goswami has to speak Bhagavatam. So he says, Yogi Nam, to the yogis, all types of yogis, Nirpa, as well as for the kings, nirnitam, decided by both of them. Yoginam nirnitam hare namanu kirtanam. So he taken aback, he thought that there are so many people that they'll think that yoginam nirnitam hare namanu kirtanam. Why directly to hare namanu kirtanam? Why not other things? So he takes up, that's called the first stage of God realization. So it takes up to Ashtanga Yoga. And so it takes up Ashtanga Yoga from 15th sloka till 9th sloka. So all that limbs of Ashtanga, yam, niyam, what is that? Asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So he covers till dharana, dhyana, samadhi till 18th or 19th sloka. Yeah. So in 19th sloka he concludes dharana, dhyana, samadhi. In 19th sloka it is told, thereafter you shall meditate upon the limbs of Viṣṇu, one after another, without being deviated from the conception of complete body. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami tells that first thing you must do that leave home. Well, that is never recommended for bhakti yogis, of course. So leave home, it's for whom? It's not for, of course, for bhakti yogis. Leave home. So leave home and just start doing pranayam, sit nicely at a very good place, not in New York City, go out to Himalaya and sit nicely and do breathing exercise. Then start speaking om like this, and then slowly you will able to detach your sensory perceptions inside. That's called pratyahar. Then you have to do dharana. Dharana means visualizing Supreme Lord Viṣṇu in our heart. That's called dharana. Right? The wholesome Viṣṇu. Right? Then comes dhyan. Dhyan means then after putting Lord Viṣṇu in the heart, trying to meditate upon every limb of Viṣṇu, starting from the lotus feet. That's called dhyana. And you are done with that. Now your mind is not flickering at all, and you are perfectly pacified in that situation. That's called samadhi. So this is the general course of action anybody can take, isn't it? I also tried many years before. When I was in college. So I should not speak out myself, but I had this similar experience. So I thought, why mind is so much disturbing? So I thought, what to do? So I got one Ashtanga Yoga book, and I thought I should meditate upon Viṣṇu. So I went nearby college park, and early morning I started meditating. So I was knowing that we have to meditate upon Viṣṇu. So I thought, okay, let's assemble Viṣṇu, not going for yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, nothing. Directly dhyana, dharana, samadhi, let's go try it. So I thought, okay, so Lord Viṣṇu, I know Lord Viṣṇu, how he looks like in photos and all. So I started making the semblance of different, okay, there are two legs of Viṣṇu comes, okay, then the abdomen of Viṣṇu comes, then the chest of Viṣṇu comes, then the head of Viṣṇu, okay, the hands of Viṣṇu, okay, there are four hands, okay, 4 hands. So, Sangha Chakra Gada Padma, okay. Then I find, okay, as soon as it comes, automatically I find that, my God, where is one hand of Viṣṇu? Gone, fell down. Now Viṣṇu, now another leg of Viṣṇu is gone. My God, what I am doing? What meditation I am doing or doing offenses? Then I left that. Okay, I am not able to do it. Forget about it. So somehow or other, by the mercy of the Lord, just a few months later, I got in association devotees. So how here that association of devotees are going to get glorified here, that we are going to see. So Ashtanga Yoga in the 20th sloka, Sukadeva Goswami is telling that this mode of passion and ignorance which can create disturbance in the yogi's heart and mind. Ignorance will create bewilderment, and passion will create distraction. That's what it happens. And for those it will create, not for the neophyte in Ashtanga Yoga, but those who are in Samadhi. Because you already concluded till Samadhi. And then he is taking up, still this passion and ignorance will create problem for the yogis, and then yogis should take the help of dharana. Should take the help of dharana. Again visualizing the Supreme Lord, wholesome Supreme Lord into the heart. Then one can actually come out. He can kill hanti. That's what it's told here. Yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro hanti ya tat-kṛtaṁ malam. Yacched dhāraṇayā dhīro. So one can kill. One could kill. the dirtiness in the heart. So that's what we are able to see, that this Ashtanga Yoga is not effective at all. It's not effective at all. That's why Srila Sukadeva Goswami takes it up before. So this Ashtanga Yoga is not at all active, not at all effective. It's mentioned so many places. As well as how the Bhakti Yoga is powerful. Because it starts only where these people will end up. It starts where, as Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 16 sloka tells, Shushrusha Shraddha Dhanasya Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Syat Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirthani Sevanat. So it is told that one should go and serve the devotees of the Lord, and then from their mouth, one should hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. But Ashtanga Yoga ends where Srimad Bhakti Yoga starts there. Ashtanga Yoga, the real cleanness of the heart never takes place in Ashtanga Yoga. It remains. We have the history of it. Like Sadhimana Vishwamitra Muni Prabhupada already had told. Vishwamitra Muni, he also wanted to do this Ashtanga process, but the purpose of doing Ashtanga was something else. So there was Brahmarshi called Vasishtha, and he had a fight. He was before a king, and he went to Vasishtha, and Vasishtha did huge arrangement, everything. He was fed so nicely, and Vishwamitra is thinking that these people, these are niggardly, poor, wretched Brahmana, how they are procuring so nice foodstuffs, and not for 1-2 people, for my whole army. So he had a doubt. Then he somehow investigated, and he came to know that there is a cow, Kamdhenu cow, it gives so much abundant amount of food. So he's a king. He thought, I am king, Baba, everything best should be there with me. So Vasishtha, kindly give that cow to me. You remain happy. Here, you are Brahmana, you can be happy, but my guna and quality is not like you. You give that cow. So Vishwamitra, Vasishtha, how come? No, it's not good. Just let him be here. So Vasishtha didn't force much. It was okay. If Kamadhenu want to go, then let him go. The Kamadhenu didn't want to go. You don't want to go. Then Kamadhenu personally expands so many soldiers to fight with Vishwamitra Muni. And Vishwamitra is frustrated and leaves. He thought, okay, these Brahmanas are very powerful. These people are more powerful than Kshatriyas. We are what? What is useless Kshatriyas? Let's do some tapasya. Then again he comes, after doing tapasya, again he comes for asking this, the cow. Again the same thing happens, he was defeated like anything. And then he condemns Kshatriya dharma. What do we say in English? Condemnation. So he condemns it. And says, I will not going to do this. I will become Brahmarshi like Vasishtha. So leaves to become Brahmarshi. And how many years he meditates, all of you know, well aware of it. 60,000 years before that, so many things happens. And after become Brahmarshi, first time he becomes captivated by lust. Menka comes and Haribol. Then comes Ramba, then Haribol. He becomes angry, practically. That's called Kama, is the manifestation of passion. And anger is manifestation of ignorance. So Kama, Krodha, both comes and he clean bold. He gets clean. Then again he sits. Okay, I will do. But only thing is that this Vasishtha is not understanding me. Only problem is with Vasishtha. And he has a fight with Vasishtha. He's not good in terms with the Vasishtha. Brahma also tells that, Baba, now you become Brahmarshi. I give you, now I sign your certificate. His Grace, Vishwamitra Muni, certified. Not Bhakti Shastri, Brahmarshi, certified. So he got certified. But problem with Vishwamitra is that this fellow Vasishtha will not accept me. Every time he goes to Vasishtha, and Vasishtha tells, please come Rajarshi. What? Rajarshi? I am Brahmarshi, Baba. When he will understand, so unless one is certification of given from Vasishtha, he is not going to get the Brahmarshi. See, frustrating. Like frustrating. Coming even 60,000 years of tapasya and somebody don't accept you. For us, like some few years of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, I feel like we should be accepted by every living entity. Every devotee should accept us. That I am a bona fide, genuine devotee, right? They should salute me. But 60,000 years of tapasya, because heart is not purified yet, he has still vengeance toward Vasishtha. So he thinks, I will go and chop his head. This Vasishtha is not going to listen. What is the use of me being certified by Brahma? Brahma is Parameshti. He certifies that what is the use? Vasishtha is not accepting me. Though he goes and in night time, he makes all the plan. He takes a big chopper and he goes hidingly to kill Vasishtha. And Vasishtha, that night he was talking with his wife. And he was actually glorifying Vishwamitra Muni. How Vishwamitra is so powerful, so great Brahmarshi. Actually, he is a Brahmarshi. He has so much patience. So many times he got defeated, but still is not left coming to that platform of Brahmarshi. He actually Brahmarshi, but only thing is that he has some little enmity toward me. And so he is glorifying. Vishwamitra was able to hear, because he was hidingly trying to see the opportunity to kill him. And he was able to hear his own glorification being done by Vasishtha. So he thought, I'm such a fool. Really, I'm such a fool guy. So, such a nice person, Vasishtha, I have taken enmity with him. It's not good. Big blunder I did for the last 60,000 years. I should immediately go and beg pardon from him. He went and begged pardon. And Vasishtha took him, embraced him. And then he called Vishwamitra. Oh, Brahmarshi, welcome. So simple thing. What is the simple thing? That inside that attitude of egoistic attitude, I am also something. This is the difference between any yogi and a bhakti yogi. A bhakti yogi, the person, he is cleansed of all different types of anarthas. Malah. It's not, it doesn't, malam. He is cleaned of all different types of anarthas. He's the devotee. Practically talking about me, I'm not so much dirt. It's not so easy to go. But devotional service, which starting with Shravanam and Kirtanam, has the potency to cleanse that all. Cleanse that all. It has the potency, as we know, starting from the taking shelter and service to the great Mahatmas whose heart is in themselves pure, automatically this effect takes place. Srinavatam sakatha Krishna punya sravana kirtana hirdam tasto hi abhadrani vidunoti nashta prayasva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavad-gītā sloke bhaktir bhavati nashti ki tada rajas-tamobhyām kamloba dayaschaye chetaye tanaviddam sthitam sattve prasidati. For a devotee is so very easy. Only thing is that devotee has to just let it go. Let himself go into the flow of Shravanam and Kirtanam. Don't hold that. You should not hold that. Just let it go. Then it's very, very easy. That's very easy to purify our heart. By this Shravanam and Kirtanam, what three things that happens? Very beautiful sloka, I like to recite that. It is mentioned by Prachetas, it glorifies Narayana. In 4th canto, 30th chapter, 35th sloka. Yatra ijjante katha mrishtah trishnaya prashama yatha nirvairam yatra bhuteshu na udvega yatra kaschana. By glorification of your, O Lord, your Lordship is very, very sweet. By doing that, what happens? Trishnaya prashama yatha. All that Trishna, so many different types of Trishna, bhukti, mukti, so on. And that also there are many varieties. Everything immediately cleanses us, at least for time being. So long we are in the Bhagavatam class, that goes out. Trishna, sometimes devotees remain hungry. They forget actually. We see, in the common Bhagavatam class, they forget about the hunger also. If they won't forget, they go to sleep. When they are sleeping, of course, they cannot remember they are hungry. So Trishnaya prasama yatha nirvairam yatra bhuteshu. And all the living entities, for all the living entities, nirvairam. No enmity. no enmity. As well as no udvega yatra kaśchana. They cannot be made to be like agitated by anyone. Forget about modes. Modes are already defeated by them. Modes are already defeated by them. There are examples like Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni, he comes, big Brahmarshi, he comes and he just shouts and he sends the Kritya and nothing happens to Ambarish Maharaj. Nothing happens. Parikshit Maharaj, cursed. He's the emperor of the whole Bhumandala, he is cursed. He doesn't take any vengeance. Useless fool, don't know who am I. No, not at all. Saptam Chittam Havapi. This is the glorification. This is the real glory of devotees. They don't take any vengeance toward anyone. You know Chitraketu Maharaj, Mother Durga himself curses. What to do? What can be done? Chitraketu was actually the worthy of counter curse, but still he didn't do that. This is the devotee. So because their heart is fully purified, it's not at all. There is not a single dearth of a single dust particle into their hearts. That's why Prithu Maharaj also says that Yad Pada Sansraya Suta, Yad Pada Sevaya. What happens? Sadhya Sinoti Amalam. Immediately, just by having little devotional attitude toward the Supreme Lord, what happens? All that dirt immediately vanquishes. This is the glorification. This is the glory of devotional service. Yet, that's why it's very powerful. We know that. Still, it becomes more powerful when we really deliberately try to submerge ourselves into the flow of devotional service. So, that's what next Srila Sukadeva Goswami is going to take. So, Viṣṇu conception can maybe make it terminate, or maybe it can like suppress the effects of passion and ignorance. But the complete cleansing happens only by devotional service in association of devotees. Only. Otherwise, it remains. Niharam iva bhaskara only happens in association of devotees. So today is also most auspicious disappearance day of Srila Vasudeva Ghosh. So was told to me that I should also discuss a little bit on that. So Vasudeva Ghosh is one of the eternal associate of the Lord. Appears in Bardhaman district. The place is called Kolai Gram. It's nearby Gaurmandal. So Vasudeva Ghosh had two more brothers, Madhav Ghosh, Vasudeva Ghosh and Govind Ghosh. Among all those three, Madhav Ghosh was the eldest. Then comes Vasudeva Ghosh and Govind Ghosh. So from the very beginning Leelas of Nimai, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was actually able to see the Lord's pastimes. He is also called in Gaur Ganodaya Stipika to be one of the Sakhi named Gunatunga. So he is a Gunatunga Sakhi. And very famous song that we every year we sing. Jaya Jaya Jagannath Shachira Nandan. Everybody remember? Jai Gaur Sai Krishna Sai Jagannath. That song is sung by Srila Vasudeva Ghosh. Vasudeva Ghosh bole kari jora haath. Jai Gaur Sai Krishna Sai Jagannath. So Vasudeva Ghosh had a great mood, intense mood in the specifically in the Nimai pastimes in Nadia, Siddha Mayapur pastimes. Specifically, he describes about sannyasa pastimes of the Lord in his book called Nimai Sannyas. And also Gauranga Charita. He also describes the Gauranga Charita. So I like to recite little songs sung by Srila Vasudeva Ghosh in connection with sannyas of the Lord. He describes that how Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is actually worshipable personality of Mother Lakshmi, and that person leaves everything and he takes Danda Kamandalu. Chadalo Lakshmi Vilas Kiba Lagi Taru Tale Vash. So he has left Lakshmi Vilas, being worshipped by Lakshmi, and he has taken residence where? under the tree. Tarutale vilas. Chadolo mohan kare bansi. And he has left the bansi. And ebe danda dhariya sannyasi. And has taken up the danda. And he has become sannyasi. Vibhuti kariya premadhan. His only treasure is vibhuti. The dust. Dust from where? Everywhere. He is anointing his whole body with the dust. Sange loy sab akinchan. And those who are pure devotees, their only wealth is Krishna. Taking them, he just moves around everywhere. Prema jale kare sinan. And what he is doing? Always drenching himself, flooding himself with prema jala, ashru jala. Kabe kahe banshu vishwara paran. So like this, Vasudeva Ghosh is thinking and crying about, seeing the sannyasa lila of the Supreme Lord. And he talks about Viṣṇu Priya. Shayana mandira chilo nisha bhage kotha gelo mor mukhe bajar padiya. So where is that my husband Nimai gone? He was just sleeping beside me, and all of a sudden he left. Vasu kahe aha mari tomara gauranga hari gache giya mastak mudaiya. So Vasudeva Ghosh is telling that why don't I die? So he just left and had got his hair shaven. So like this, he sings. There are so many songs, and I don't want to go. So this is the intense mood of separation of Nimai Pandit from Sachi Mata and Viṣṇu Priya. And as soon as Viṣṇu Priya Devi gets up and he starts crying, where did go my husband? And immediately Sachi Mata gets up and, where is Nimai? He starts going. So all of both of them are in emergency mode. Something bad had happened. Without speaking, conversing with wife and mother, nobody goes anywhere. And there were only two people there. So without speaking to them, he's out. He's not there, only at home. So he starts going in the morning time. Viṣṇu Priya is there, and he starts crying, as well as Sachi Mata. Sachi Mata starts crying that, to whom you told, why did you took this sannyas? And everybody starts searching out, where is Nimai? Where did you see my Nimai? Where did you see my Nimai? And he goes and he starts crying out Viṣṇu Priya. What will happen to Viṣṇu Priya? What will happen to Viṣṇu Priya? How is she will able to keep the life? So why did you take sannyas like this? And Vasudeva Ghosh comes to know that Lord has taken sannyas. So Vasudeva Ghosh was, before he was staying in Bardhaman, he leaves Bardhaman and he takes residence near Odisha. There is a place called Tamluk in Mednipur district. So there he makes his headquarters, and from there he preaches. And there in the separation he writes a very beautiful another song that very famous. Gauranga tumi more daya na chhadi ha apana boliya ranga charane dhariya. So apana boliya ranga. So Vasudeva Ghosh is crying for the Lord that, oh Lord, please don't leave me. Daya na chhadiya. Please don't withdraw your mercy from me. I have left everything. I have left ekule, ukule, sabat, dilu, tilanjali. I have already given tilanjali to every kula, like different kula people, they belong, different family dynasty, lineage. I have left everything. I don't have any treasure other than your lotus feet. Please keep me under the shelter of your lotus feet. So like this, Vasudeva Ghosh cries. So after some years, we know Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves. Vasudeva Ghosh comes to know, and there is one book called Shyamananda Prakash. In that it's mentioned that how Vasudeva Ghosh, when he comes to know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has left already, So immediately he starts making his graveyard, live graveyard. So he tells all of his followers that please make graveyard. So he starts digging the earth. He himself digs and he tells his followers to dig fast. I want to go and take samadhi. In such a separation mood. He was crying tears in the separation of Lord. And he goes inside the earth. And of course, before going, he has already, made himself blind with a piece of cloth. And he was about to be dying only. So immediately, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears again as a small Nimai, as he wanders around in Nadia, in vimūḍhaṁ, in that way. And he tells Vasudeva Ghosh, because of your cry, I have come back. Please don't live now like this. So his eyes are closed. So Vasudeva Ghosh tells that, are you the same Nimai, my Nimai? Have you come? So if it is so, then I am not going to open my eyes. You have to open my eyes. So by the will of Mahaprabhu, his eye gets open, the cloth gets open, and he sees the Lord again. So both of them, they meet again. So when Mahaprabhu already left, and this the pastime took place then. So that samadhi is still there when Vasudeva Ghosh leaves the planet, then he is made into samadhi there only. Yeah, so that place is still there. So these are some little description. So in the Kartik month, it's so nice that so many appearance and disappearance days are there for us only. So that we could pray more intensely, and we should take shelter of their lotus feet as well as the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Any comment? Any correction? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In the Purport, Srila Prabhupada says that one has to be situated in the mode of goodness in order to springboard into the transcendental position of devotional service. However, my question is that entities like Arjuna, who are a Kshatriya, Kshatriya Bhaktas, who are, it's said that Kshatriyas are in the mode of passion, and they're using this passion, this fighting for Krishna consciousness, to serve Krishna. So how do we correlate that with having to be in the mode of goodness, yet someone's nature may be as a Kshatriya, passionate to serve Krishna?
So, Arjuna was Kshatriya. Of course, he is supposed to be in passion, right? And there are many other living entities. So, bhakti, that's the beauty of bhakti. Devotional service is something which can lift you from anywhere. Like you want to go to USA, you need to go to first at least Dum airport. But bhakti is not like that, you need to go Dum airport. Bhakti is like a helicopter, it can lift you from anywhere, which mode you are in. Like we see in the Rama pastime, there is Nishad. Nishad means they are supposed to be in mode of ignorance. And they are supposed to be like tribes. But he just hears about the Lord from his father. He hears about the Supreme Lord Ramchandra from his father, and he gets attracted toward the Lord, irrespective of whatever profession, whatever mode he is into it. This is the beauty of Sravanam and Kirtana. Ata prema prayojan. That's it. We need prema. So that can be brought from any level, any mode. So that's the beauty of. Otherwise, we have to come into goodness. For goodness, we have to leave all the association of so many people. We have to go into jungle. And then the jungle is called into mode of goodness, supposedly, as Srila Prabhupada says. Nowadays, but no more mode of goodness jungle left. So then the things start from there. But why what we are doing here with so many people around? So there could be some in mode of passion, some in mode of so-called mode of ignorance. But beauty is that we are having Sravanam and Kirtana is more powerful than different modes of material nature, right? He's Krishna himself, right? Process and Krishna is non-different. So we take shelter of Sravanam and Kirtanam, and we are victorious. And Arjuna was victorious, thinking always about Krishna. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. So far my little understanding. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just wonder if this verse is applicable when we chant. You know, dhāraṇayā, dhyana, to visualize the form of the Lord, is parts as a meditation.
Yeah. So what was your question, Prabhuji?
The question is, are those steps of Ashtanga Yoga can be applicable for our own sadhana, for example, in the japa?
Yeah, usually some measures devotees they take that and they should keep their this backbone straight, and some measures can be taken, but we are not Ashtanga yogis anyway.
I'm not talking about asanas, but you know, visualizing our deities, our Ishtadev, the place that we like, Govardhan, things like
A
this.
similar question I asked from one senior Maharaj. Maharaj told that actually meditation means when we are chanting the holy name. Suppose we are chanting the holy name, we should simply chant when we are chanting. When we are chanting the holy name, simply we should chant. Means just speak out the holy name from your mouth and humbly try to hear. That's what. And rest, everything comes one after another. Like if we are attached with Radha Madhav, so Radha Madhav, it should not be forced or imposed upon our mind. That no, we have to think about Radha Madhav. Why it's not happening? Why it's not happening? So there is nothing force and nothing artificial imposition required there in bhakti. So whatever we are doing itself is perfect. Like we are chanting the holy name is as equal as seeing the Supreme Lord. When we are hearing about Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing about Krishna is as equal as chanting the holy name. All are like non-dual. All are the same absolute platform. So when we are doing one thing, that itself is most prominent for us, should be most prominent for us. And just we should focus upon that. And that's what is mentioned. That's what is mentioned by Mahaprabhu also. Srila Haridas Thakur, when he talks with Mahaprabhu. And when Mahaprabhu asks that how living entities are going to get delivered, Haridas, what about the Javanas? How they will get delivered? So they will also get delivered by chanting the name of Lord Ram. They are accustomed to speaking haram, so they will also get delivered like that. So it is recommended that we should simply, whatever we are doing, we should do it that. Sravanam, Kirtanam is most powerful, of course, and among them, Kirtanam is most powerful. Navida Bhakti Madhya, as mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kirtanam is most powerful. So it's recommended just chant, when we chanting, we just chant. And then all other things, Nama, Rupa, Guni, Lila, it will come automatically. It should not be imposition. Yeah, it should come automatically. Then, yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
I'm just wondering that because many of devotees like to have Prabhupada in front of their eyes, the deities in Tulasi in front of their eyes. So what is the difference between looking at Tulasi while we are chanting and closing the eyes and seeing her?
Yeah. So when we are chanting in association of devotees, we are actually taking blessings from them. In that way we are chanting. When we are sitting with acharyas, we are actually taking association of acharyas with that, oh acharyas, I am chanting the holy name because this chanting is given by you. With a great humility, with the mood of seeking that blessings, we chant the holy name. We don't just chant the holy name because we have read it somewhere. No, we are chanting the holy name coming in the disciplic succession in Guru Shishya Parampara. So we accept their vicinity, accept their association. That empowers us, that gives us like more enthusiasm chanting the holy name. In that humility mood, that we are so grateful to you, acharyas, that I have got this holy name from you. So I'm chanting this holy name. I'm chanting and chanting and chanting and hearing and speaking and hearing and chanting. So this is the way we could chant. Yeah. And not like we are seeing, okay, Srila Prabhupada, okay. Prabhupada is chanting or not chanting? What is he doing? Very nice dhoti, okay, good. No. Mood is important. Yes. Okay, so we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Oh, okay, man. We have just a half minute, Mataji. You can speak loudly. Kulai gram. Kulai gram.